All right, so today is September 12th, 2016. 5 more days until the Nautica Malibu Triathlon. I've got a question for you. How do you get into your wetsuit? I'm LG, and this is a TriRiot Speed Tip. Today's tip is tip number 8. I use a grocery bag to get into my wetsuit. I see a lot of athletes using products such as Body Glide or cooking spray to get into their wetsuits. Getting in the wetsuit without any kind of help like this can be pretty tough because the dry neoprene on dry skin is pretty tough to get it on. The reason I don't use the Body Glide is because it's expensive and it was never designed for this in the first place. It's designed to prevent chafing and blisters. I don't like to use the cooking spray because, well, let's face it, the cooking spray is pretty darn messy. I also have a suspicion that it breaks down the neoprene of the wetsuit. I don't know that for sure, but I have seen several wetsuits that have some pretty poor neoprene on them from people who use the cooking spray. So what I do is I use this little trick that I learned from my buddy Mike, and that is I put a shopping bag on my foot to get my leg into the wetsuit, and I'll put the shopping bag on my hand to get my arm into the wetsuit, and it works pretty darn slick. Oh, one other thing about the cooking spray. Heaven forbid you should ever get this on your fingers and then touch your goggles 5 minutes before the race. It'll be a very blurry swim. Okay, now that you're in your wetsuit, how do you get out of it? I always remove my wetsuit before I get out of the water. If I run to transition in the wetsuit, all the water that's between the suit and my skin runs out, and it becomes very difficult to get that neoprene glove off. But if I fill the suit with water just before I exit the swim, I benefit in 2 ways. 1, I can get the suit off much faster, and 2, I can run to transition much faster. This will undoubtedly add 10 seconds or so to my swim time. I'll save 2 times and possibly 3 times that much running to and getting through transition. All right, so there you go. There's a couple of tips on getting into and getting out of the wetsuit. Those are tips that I use. We'll see how it works getting out of the wetsuit in the water in Malibu. If you're out there, you can see me do it and see if I make a mess of it or not. Usually I'm very successful at it, but I think it'll work just fine. Okay, this next part is a recorded conversation that I had with Fireball Tim Lawrence. He is the director, creator, producer of the Fireball Malibu vlog, which is a Malibu lifestyle vlog, focuses on Malibu and cars. I talked about it in yesterday's post. And we had a Skype call. The video's pretty good, the audio basically sucks. But I made the best of it and asked him a couple questions. So if you want to know a little bit about Malibu, hang tight and you'll learn. All right. If I have, say, 4 hours, an afternoon to spend in Malibu, what would you recommend that I do? Go to see authentic Malibu?
What day?
Say a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon. Okay, so if it's a sunny weekend, you're going to have a lot of people coming here. You know, even from the valley and a variety of things. So you're going to be dealing with a lot of traffic. So the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of time driving. So the best thing to do if you've never been to Malibu, you want to pick one beach, but you want to probably come and you park in the middle of town so that you can walk around. It's a Cross Beach Shopping Center. There's a phenomenal sandwich place. It's called John's Garden, and it's where all the celebrities hang out. It's it's a paparazzi-free zone, so there's a chance you might see some celebrities, but you'll not be hassled. You know, if the cameras start going around. There's signs everywhere saying that they're not allowed to be in there.
Ah, okay.
And, so you can get like a sandwich there, but what Kathy and I like to do frequently is we'll get a sandwich and then we'll take that sandwich and we'll go up to the beach and we'll eat right on the water. But it's a great place to shop, to walk around. There's a central area that it used to be a motel, and they've turned it into a shopping area. So there's a big play area for kids it's a big sand pit, but it originally was a swimming pool. So it's got some neat style to it. So I would do that and walk around town, and then maybe from there you can walk directly out to the beach, and that's the Colony. So you can walk the Colony beach if you want, right in front of all the Colony houses. There's a big sign saying that you're not allowed to do that, but ignore that. It's only there to deter people from doing exactly
from doing
what
it.
They're allowed. But if you want some seclusion, you want some a really nice beach, then Latigo's a great place. There's lots of great restaurants, but if you only have a weekend or something, Saturday afternoon, then John's Garden, it's outdoors. They have every kind of sandwich, every kind of food. It's all good. Nothing ever bad.
Would you call that local Malibu cuisine, if there is such a thing?
Well, local Malibu cuisine is coming over to my house and having our pasta. That's real local cuisine. So, but if you're gonna go to a restaurant and get as local as you can, then the simple stuff is the best. You obviously don't want to hit any chains. You don't want to go to Chipotle or someplace.
Right.
Somewhere else. The best place. John's Garden it's a one of a kind place. And I would recommend that you go there, then you go over to maybe Malibu Yogurt and have some ice cream. They have Grater's ice cream, which basically has a high fat content, tastes phenomenal. So that's at a different shopping center that's across the way, kind of kitty corner, and you can ask someone where that is. It's over near the Ralph's shopping center. So that's kind of fun. You can grab some ice cream. You can drive up Malibu Road, which is the original Pacific Coast Highway. It parallels PCH.
Oh, okay.
It's a 4-lane highway. So it's a single, 2-lane highway. You drive about 25 miles an hour. There's a couple of beaches that you can go to there on Malibu Road. Take some snacks. The only thing I highly strive is that whatever you pack in, pack out. So
definitely.
It seems like that would be common sense, but unfortunately, common sense is not so common nowadays, and people do their things. But if you want to if you have a limited amount of time, then that's a great place to go, and you should have a really good time with food and some great visuals.
If I were to go to the beach, Speedo or board shorts, what's more appropriate?
Well, Speedo would say that you're from another country, so people wouldn't necessarily laugh at you. They'd say, "Oh yeah, the guy's from Germany, or the guy's from this or that." So, but it's not just about board shorts. It's about the length of the board short, the pattern of the board short. So there's a lot of fashion statements going on, and we've had guys that walk down to the boo where Kathy surfs, and they look like surfers in every respect. And then they put on their wetsuit, but they put on their wetsuit backwards. And then so there's these telltale signs that you zip up the back.
Zip up the back. What do you call a resident of Malibu?
A Malibuite.
A Malibuite?
Malibuite.
Malibuite. That sounds like a geological formation. But
it kind of does. It's probably a Chumash term, Chumash Indian term. I don't know, but it's very common for us. We've been saying it for 30 years, so I to me it's not a big deal.
Okay, very cool. Well, Tim, Fireball, thank you so much. I appreciate this. He's an awesome guy. He's really nice. He's very funny, full of life, full of energy, has really good attitude on life, and I think you'll enjoy the vlog. I'm going to post a link in the comments down below. And one thing I've got to say is that Fireball, the name Fireball, is not a nickname. That is his real name, his legal name. You can look at his driver's license. If you ever meet him, say, "Show me your driver's license." That's not your real name. It's his real name, believe me. Don't ask him to see his driver's license. No. All right, so that's it. Tomorrow we're moving into day 4, and day 5 is done. Until tomorrow, stay to the right, pass on the left, and keep on smiling. For TriRiot, I'm LG, fighting off mosquitoes. Gah!